brother from the cutter. Always been a fighter, never been a runner. Woo. Mama was a hunter, daddy was a hunter. All my brothers hunt each other. Woo. Known to knuckle up and uppercut a slugger, punch a snuffer, stun a thugger, gonna stutter, blood a sputter. You gon' do the Brooklyn Brucker, pucker, kinda drummer. Father thought I was a parasite in mama belly, but he had it wrong. He ain't know he had a spawn of a warlord till in 9 months I was born. Big, black, strong, body of LeBron. I'm a big king, killing all the pawn. Better be informed when I blow the horn, bringing in the dust, waking up the dawn, looking at a card. Ooh. Prophesized by the shaman voodoo. Seen it all through the eye of Horus that I watch and view through. There was other warriors before me, but they not this brutal.
Peace, love, and light. It's your brother Blue, Port live and direct to you. YouTube. Make sure that you sign up to that Patreon, Black Magic 363. Make sure that you support the independent media that supports you. I got that water. I got that water. Yo, quench your thirst with this information and this knowledge. Patreon. Go and get your exclusive videos. Y'all don't know about that. It's about 10 straight exclusives that you never seen in your life. Full-length lectures. Go on the page. I got about 4 of them up there myself. KT is up there. Griff is up there. Go and sign up. Panic is up there. Be a member. More members that we get, the more exclusive footage we'll be rolling out. All right? Peace.
Peace, family. We out here at BAM Festival in NYC. It's raining out here for everybody out of town once again. I want to show y'all what's going on, man. Yeah, this was supposed to be the nicest day of the year. It hit 90, but it ended up pouring raining. We wasn't prepared for that. But I'm out here with the red and the blue.
Yes, indeed.
We ain't see Blue. Man, Blue Pill ain't even part of the family no more, man.
Don't ever do that.
I don't know what happened.
Don't ever do that.
I don't know what happened to Blue Pill.
I'm a Black Magic 363 global ambassador. So
yes, sir.
I go on the planet, goddamn
yes,
it.
Sir.
Yeah. Stop that.
Yes, sir. I see you on all I ever see you on Instagram, I just see you working out, bro. Health is wealth, bro.
Health is wealth.
They be like, damn, Blue is Diesel.
You gotta stay ready. You know, I had to get my neck ready. I had to get my neck right for that neck piece. Shout out to Studio Patar, Baba Hayru. Thanks.
Yes, sir. So we back out here.
Yes.
It's good to have y'all two together again, man. Such an organic energy. It really, the channel wouldn't be the channel without the red and the blue. So I gotta have y'all together. You know what I'm saying? What y'all doing, the Hulk Hogan?
Do you hear what the rock is?
The rock. So listen.
Yeah.
We've been known to deal extensively on hip hop.
Yes.
I love going to talk to y'all when it comes to hip hop. It dominates culture. It dominates the world. It dominates every industry.
It does.
We have a weird situation here.
Yes.
We have a situation where Lil Nas X, you heard his song. Both of you heard his song, of course.
Old Town Road. Yeah,
Old Town Road.
Legend. Yeah.
Billy Ray Cyrus hopped on it.
Remix.
Yeah. The remix.
Oh, yeah.
They got a billboard in Nashville with his Billy Ray Cyrus name on it, and very little in tiny letters it says Lil Nas. But we ain't talking about that. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But it's being slammed. His endorsement with Wrangler jeans, Cowboy jeans, is being slammed as cultural appropriation by the whole, I guess, the country industry, whoever's in the country, the good folks that love country music. Yeah. They're not too happy with Lil Nas X. This upsets them.
That's right.
Now, he did nothing wrong to them per se, but his presence, his presence bothers them. Just like our presence, for whatever reason, bothers a lot of people.
Yeah.
Whether our pants sag, whether we wear suits, whatever, it just bothers people. I want to start out, before we even go into that, what's the deal with Cowboys? I keep hearing the first Cowboys were black. Let's just touch on this real quick. For those who are mad with this black cowboy image, could you talk to me about the first Cowboys being black, my brother?
You know, once again, what we're talking about is the reigniting of white fragility. So the imagery of Lil Nas X, he's getting a little too close to where the bodies is buried. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Woo.
That's right.
So
That's their safe space.
yeah, his presence represents them skeletons falling out of the closet, right? Shout out to the brother Tariq Nasheed with Hidden Colors, where he exposed the fact that the first melanated hockey players were black. And he also spoke about the first jockeys were melanated. You know what I'm saying? When we went to Kentucky, we got some of the history.
Kentucky Derby?
The Kentucky Derby.
Oh,
We went to
say it ain't so.
Louisville.
We was in Louisville.
We were in Louisville.
Yeah, I mean.
And they took us down to a place called Oxmoor. What was it called? It was an old plantation that turned into a car lot. I believe it probably was called Oxmoor. But there's a history behind that particular plantation and the existence of jockeys, melanated jockeys, that were dominating that particular field
For a decade.
right? For decades.
No, for a decade. When
For
it
a
first
decade.
started.
Before they brought in, any alternative riders. So what he represents is he is igniting the ancestral DNA, because this is the last. They are very protective of their last bastions. You know what I'm saying?
Super facts.
Cowboy ties into Americana.
Super
Yes, it
facts.
does.
You understand?
Yes, it does.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it does.
Cowboys tied to Americana.
Yes, it
But
does.
the first cowboy was John Ware, a melanated brother who allegedly was an ex-slave coming out of Texas, who was able to have a domineering relationship, right, with these particular horses, and he was able to move up into southern Alberta, which is Canada, by way of him going through the pioneer trails of the western frontiers.
Now, one of the names of melanated men who were, they were the ones who were handling the horses. They were called cowboys, and the Europeans, they were recognized and called cowhands, right? But because of the intricate relationship that our people have with the horses, going all the way back into medieval Spain, going all the way back into the equestrians.
Yes.
Because what might not be known to the family is horses are not indigenous to either North America or South America. They are imports.
Imported horses.
Imported. The horses
People wouldn't
were,
believe that,
the
man.
horses
Wow.
were imported during what is known as the Crusades.
Say it again.
The horses were imported during what is known as the
Give me a time period.
Crusades. We're talking 1600s, and the initial landing of the conquistadors in South America, they brought what is known as war horses, and they also brought what is known as war dogs.
Right.
And these horses and these dogs were war battled and war trained because of the quote unquote reconquista, or the conflict that they were having with Muslims over in Spain. Now, going back to what I was saying, that those horses were indigenous to the Iberian Peninsula, Africans who were known as equestrians, they were known to have horses draped. We could even talk about the Nigerians, because we're talking about the dynasty that was in the Iberian Peninsula when the Nigerians, when the West African dynasty came in and disposed of the other Moorish dynasty, and they brought with them their majestic horses with them. Now we're talking about horses that were laden in jewels, laden in gold trimmings and whatnot, laden. These horses was dripping, family. That water, and they mastered, the Africans were able to master the horse. You remember the movie Avatar? When the wildlife was being controlled by the hair. Remember, they were connecting to animals by way of their hair, based off of the fact that they were indigenous to Pandora, so they were also indigenous to the nature and the wildlife. So our people who are these horses that are indigenous to the continent and other places, our people were able to master the horses.
Lou mentioned something about the electromagnetic.
If you meet anybody who knows anything about rearing horses, right, or riding horses, or just dealing with horses, you have to have your energy right before you approach a horse, because a horse can pick up on your electromagnetic pulse and your energy. If you have bad intentions for that horse will pick that up. You know what I'm saying? And start bucking. So you have to approach the horse very careful, you know what I'm saying? And you know, be calm and collect. You got to get your energy right before you deal with horses, because horses can pick up on your energy field.
That's right.
You dig what I'm saying? So of course, an indigenous person who has more so of a natural relationship with animal and you know,
wildlife,
any dominion that we have been.
Any of the dominions. Mineral, elemental, animal kingdom.
So we're talking about our people in their natural state. You dig what I'm saying? Our people in their natural state. We had a natural affinity towards these particular animals to the degree where they said certain slaves were horse whisperers.
Say that again. Certain slaves were
Horse whisperers.
Horse whisperers.
And the horse breakers. The ones who they brought the out of control horses to were African Americans, because we were reared in horse breaking. So
this is amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Shout out to my brother Tariq Nasheed. Hopefully in the buck breaking documentary, he'll be able to unearth and bring forward the fact that some of the best buck breakers were black men. Okay? So I have a friend who raises cane corsos, right? And he's one of the first black trainers to win a prize in the Westminster Dog Show. I believe he came in first.
Shout out to Alpha.
Shout out to Alpha. He said that there's a manual, I think it's called a Stroman's Manual. And he said if you study that manual, you will understand how the slaves were broken, because the cattle raisers and the dog raisers and the ones who breeded dogs and the ones who breed horses and the ones who breed cattle perfected the art of breeding and breaking.
Wow. Okay.
So now you got people who can get you a red-nosed pit with a blue eye and a red eye because they perfected the breeding process.
Right.
That's our people.
Yeah.
I was out here the other day. Shout out to my brother Nate. We was in Harlem. Nate has a baby cane Corsico, and his dog. He saw me take a picture with our brother Alfredo's dog. He knew that his dog was related to that man's dog. They don't even know each other. That one of the brothers lives in Pennsylvania and the other in Harlem. He was like, yeah, I got that dog is the brother of this brother's dog. I said, damn, nigga, that sound like slavery. Here it is, y'all breed in litters and you selling off the children, keeping the mother, rebreeding her, selling off the litter, rebreeding her, and the children are spread all over the place, and y'all got papers on them. You getting wild money.
You able to identify, like,
you able to identify from the teeth and the eyes and things of that nature. What does that sound like? So a lot of our people had that skill of breaking in wild horses and taming them and breeding them and things of that nature, and in the quote-unquote wild, wild west. Now, based off of the research that you do, they would say that ex-slaves went into the West when it was abandoned, but we know.
We know.
What we know.
We know that our people were already there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We know that we also know that, you know, that the aspect of horses, there were horses in North America when the European arrived, but we're saying that the horse is indigenous, not to the Americas. You dig what I'm saying? So they dominated the Incans and the Aztecs and whatnot, Montezuma and things of that nature. Whenever you read about the accounts of how they were dominating them in war and warfare, they had iron shields on war horses with dogs that were like cane Corsicos, Doberman Pinschers, and Rottweilers, and they had swords. And the Aboriginal indigenous were hitting them with spears and arrows against knight armor. You know what I'm saying? So then you got that body pile up from the movie 300. Getting back to what we're talking about, these horses and these cowboys and Old Town Road. So in the Jubilee year, the 400th year of the quote-unquote 400-year curse, we have, like Blue Pill said, in one of their last bastions, right? Country music, a brother, right? Not Adam Brooks, not a country name. He got a rapper's name, Lil Nas X. And he's disrupted their industry by simply making a viral hit. He said he had $5 in his bank account. He was basically his back against the wall, and then melanin activated like it always does. And what may have happened was he may have tapped into, because when my father heard the song, he said, that's not country, that's blues. He was like, that's blues, that's not country. So the format is blues. You
gotta go through the
history. Isn't country the watered down version of the blues?
You gotta go through the history of what is country. Where did it come from?
Yo, this is
what I'm saying?
This is a dope conversation.
Blues, bluesgrass, like all of that.
Nashville.
All of that Nashville, Tennessee connection. You know, they got a whole bastion of Tennessee hip hop. White boy Tennessee hip hop that you need to look up. It's a Vice documentary. These is dirty white boys. They got that dirty music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So these are these cuts, these bastions, these parts of Americana where this soul emanates from. This is where a lot of our key history is at. You know what I'm saying? For the ADOS out there.
So
think a little bit deeper.
The Kentucky Derby, right? Pioneered and started by us. There was no European jockeys that was dominating anything. Kentucky Derby, the rodeos, dominated and started by us.
Right, you talking Cowboys that was riding them horses with no saddles and nothing, domineering them.
John Ware,
breaking
right?
them.
It was another one, Billy. It wasn't Billy the Kid. It was another name. So when you see our affinity for polo, for Ralph, for Ralph, you would understand that we have an ancestral. It's in our DNA. It's something inside of us. My name is Philip, and that stands for lover of horses.
What's my name?
Paul.
What does it stand for?
The brother of the lover of horses.
No, it stands for horse, god damn it. What the fuck are you talking about?
So, you know, I don't ever want our people to begin to look at horses and, you know, because it's an art.
Oh yeah, hold on. Shout out to A.A. Rashid, he got that album out.
Yeah, shout out to A.A. with that horse album. You know, I don't ever want our people to throw it away. That was that horse.
With that horse.
That's that heron.
Right? That horse saddled them, slowed them down, became the debilitating crutch of our people. So this concept of what the horse stands for, what it means, is very deep. Lil Nas X tapped into something, a pressure point that we never even knew existed. You dig what I'm saying? But Miley Cyrus, ironically enough, because she's the daughter, right?
So when they want to scream cultural appropriation, the daughter of Billy Ray Cyrus, right? Miley, you know what I mean? Miss who came up in hip hop, right?
No, she didn't come up in hip hop.
No, she came into hip hop
Yeah,
she recreated herself and appropriated it and then hopped out of it.
She left hip hop.
She appropriated the twerk.
Yeah, the twerk. So now he says that I have Wranglers hanging off my butt, right? That's what Lil Nas X lyrics is. He receives an endorsement, okay? But what these countries, and I'm sure that a lot of them don't even know, but you're gonna learn today. And they're saying this very proudly. Oh, Negroes and country don't go together. Oh, black, you know what I mean? No. What it is what it's always been, and what Dr. Francis Cress Welsing tried to explain to us. Because one of the last bastions of the Country Music Awards, and you know what I mean, their square dances and whatnot, you know, white women are safe. You understand? That's a space where Negroes are not in or got chased out of.
Yeah, we ain't run down on that.
We you know, now we back. And of course it's gonna bother them because now they their daughters who they're demanding have children. They drafting up bills making them have birth. Now they gotta worry.
Alabama abortion.
Yeah, now they gotta worry about those same daughters running up on Lil Nas X. You dig what I'm saying? You know, wanting to ride the horse.
They don't like that.
They don't like it.
We continuously have to investigate, if you want to get to the crux of it, what the relationship is with music genres and white women, and the way that white men get scared based on the introduction. So we talking about
That's
the industry,
interesting.
blues,
Music
we talking
genres
about
and white women.
White women.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about
we
that.
talking about rock. We talking about rap. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at the infiltration rate and then how they try to infiltrate afterwards, the penetration rate pause, and then how they want to infiltrate whatever says genre gets the attention of their daughters. We talking these the daughters of the revolution. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Texas is
Cowboys.
this is the red state. This is their bastion. This is their Lone
That's they
Star state.
Harlem.
That's their hub, right?
They Harlem.
Go look
That's
up.
they Harlem.
While we at it, go look up Anderson Willis, a melanated man in the mid 1800s who bought 1/4 of Texas, right, with $25 million in gold bars.
Gold bars.
From
Bars.
right?
When was this? This
In the mid 1800s,
Fact.
when niggas was on plantations allegedly.
so he
right?
bought 1/4 for Texas.
Came from Virginia
So
with $25 million in gold
What happened to him now?
bars.
What I mean,
Huh?
what happened to his
This
descendants?
is his land is where Standard ExxonMobil started. God damn it!
Yeah.
That's where they got their start. What you think happened?
Standard Oil started there.
They came with some bread, like they always do, and they plotted one relative against the other. Now everybody's in disarray, and they cutting people's checks rather than giving them the lion's share of what they deserve. Entire industries and empires have been built off of this man's stolen land.
Wow.
Anderson Willis, Google him. We did an interview on Know the Ledge Radio with his relatives back in 2013.
So this is a deep history
Stop
lesson.
playing.
This is a deep history lesson.
Yeah.
1/4 of Texas. He had over 2,000 acres of his own. You know what I'm saying? Responsible that he bought. So we've been busting moves and running plays and running circles around these people.
That's
but
right.
misinformation and reconstruction got us looking crazy and we don't know our history. So, you know, but the DNA is coming alive and it's speaking to, you know, the babies. You dig what I'm saying? And unabashedly, without fear, they're utilizing this internet and they're causing a disruption.
They are
so shout
definitely
out
disrupting.
to Lil Nas X.
Facts. And
And wait, shout out to, right, they gave you Posse. Who directed that?
Posse was directed by, it
That
wasn't
wasn't- it
Singleton.
wasn't Singleton?
Nah, it wasn't Singleton.
Mario
It
Van
wasn't
Peebles?
Peebles did it. The Peebles did it. Yeah, Mario Van
Yeah.
Peebles directed
When they
Posse.
showed you the melanated Cowboys.
Black
and all of that.
Cowboys. Big Daddy Kane and it was in the movie.
Let's
Feel me? Shout out to the symphony.
Let me ask y'all this question.
Facts.
Remember in Django when they said, "Who was that nigga on that nag?"
Yeah.
It was like black people weren't allowed to ride horses.
The right horse, that's right. So it just goes into more propaganda about, you
They know what we could do on them.
they know what we could do on those horses. So, you know,
Right.
you feel me? So
It's
it goes
fear of
back.
black. Yeah.
That was
So,
Brother Sutek family.
so
The question.
in perfect timing, and in 2 weeks, we'll be in Texas, Houston to be exact, with our OG Professor Griff, and we'll be bringing forth another installment of Fear of a Black Planet, the media manipulation on the melanated mind. And we are definitely going to dig into and speak to the brothers and the sisters who domicile in Texas because they need this information more important. Because when you in Texas, they riding still.
They riding.
In the third ward, they on horses. In the
They
fifth
riding
ward,
in
they on
Compton.
horses.
They
They
riding
riding
in
in Compton.
Brownsville.
They riding in Brownsville, Brooklyn. They
what I'm
riding
saying?
in Atlanta, and they riding in Texas. So horses is not. Don't stop. You know what I mean? Let's clear our minds and stop giving. We give them so much. When are we gonna take back some stuff? You feel me? When are we gonna remove all of this power that we've been giving these people, these Johnny-come-latelys, who are master cloners? They study and they copy and they get with those who are out here doing the damn thing. So the same way that they break dancing now is the same way that they in a rodeo. But you started it, and then you leveled up. Ford came out with a car. Niggas want to level up. You hopped on the cars or whatever you did.
Horsepower, right.
You hopped into horsepower and steam trains, and then they kept the horses and they rolling with it, and now they branded themselves as the face of that. So shame on Wrangler for ever trying to stunt. Wrangler we need to sign a petition. We need to educate Wrangler on Twitter. For all of my Twitter warriors out there, I see how Twitter works. at Wrangler and give him the history of the first black Cowboys.
But I mean, what did Wrangler gave him the endorsement?
Yeah,
right?
Wrangler didn't do anything. It's the
my bad.
the people, the country
it's
fans.
The country fans.
The country fans. Yeah, they got.
So shout out to Wranglers for identifying the contributions. They're not going to give you the history, but they know that they don't want to be on the wrong side of history, and they're going to get in alignment with the energy that's rising. Because you think that the white people who didn't want us to know about our history on them on them horses, and driving them cows and whatnot, you think they wanted to see a black man on #1 on the Billboard charts in country music? They know that that's going to create more research.
They know that it's going to create research, they're going to create a wave.
And they messed up. They showed their hand and they played the wrong hand. But they showed their fear, and now they out here with their pants off, and we gunning at them. We on their necks.
I think I kind of asked you this question when we was with Mr. G. Are we discouraging our people within hip hop culture from tapping into these to these ancient or our ancient way of living by constantly calling things corny, or constantly saying this ain't hip hop, or constantly saying that shit is whack? Lil Nas X immediately got, he got I don't want to say attacked, but he got criticism from Dave East and other people in hip hop saying, man, that shit ain't hip hop, or that shit is whack, or whatever. It's even the dude Idris, the dude, is that his name, with no, the dude with Nipsey.
Oh, Idris Sandu.
When we see a dude like that walking down the street, a hip hop head might say this nigga's corny or what. You gotta have a certain tough look to you. It's a certain tough culture. When you talk about hip hop culture, if you're not part of that tough culture, you kind of get thrown to the side. So it seems like we're throwing so many geniuses to the side. Yeah. How can we stop that within hip hop but still be cool?
I mean, hip hop is marred by the concept of hypermasculinity. You know what I'm saying? And anything that doesn't fit into that genre,
it gets
attacked because it's identity politics at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The melanated man is still insecure about something. So
what is that? What is that?
Maybe his position of power.
If you're saying,
we could attack it as a psychoanalyst. You know what I'm saying? And anything that's hyper activated.
Do you agree with the toxic masculinity concept?
I said anything that is overemphasized, right, is where a person's insecurity lies.
Okay.
So if
anything
masculinity is being hyperized, then masculinity is the thing.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a touchy topic because at the end of the day, you talking tough, but your motherfucking actions don't prove it when you got an adversary who got 1,000,000 points on the board and you don't got one in retaliation, but you got all these motherfucking guns and his attitude and his swag and his demeanor. So that shit,
See your shirt, King? You.
It all comes back to, you know what I mean? People start eating their own when they are not able to lash out against the people who they consider to be their true adversaries. Right?
Yes.
What's up, blessings?
Repping that
you
Kings
dripping.
County.
Hold on, you repping that power pieces too.
Yeah. Repping that Kings County, them power pieces. Yes, you done know. You already.
Show them that. Come on, show them that bracelet,
get
dog.
a close up,
Show them that bracelet.
Yeah, dripping, conscious drip,
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
It's only
Conscious
right.
and we street,
That's right. You already.
Definitely.
indeed.
And that.
So hold on. So when you are dealing with this whole aspect of posturing, you understand? But the shit don't translate. You don't got nobody on their toes running from you. It used to be a time when people had to cross the street when you came through. It used to be a time when there was a specific fear factor, but that don't exist no more. So there's this unspoken code that, we all gotta stay tough and we gotta be tough, and you know what I mean? And that comes with the concept that, okay, then we must be at war. Then we must be, posturing at this particular time because we want to keep the perimeter safe. but they run it down. They're penetrating them perimeters. So what is all the tough talk and the tough posturing about if niggas is getting their ass handed to them?
Because to
You know
be
what I'm
honest
saying?
with you, the Europeans have a prototype of tough, and that's the cowboy.
Right.
Remember, that's their shooter. The cowboy is hard as nails.
Other
He's a
than that,
leatherneck.
yeah.
He's a redneck. He tames wild beasts, and he cleared the frontier out. Santa Fe, the Alamo. He cleared it out.
And you gotta understand.
In translation to clear it out is they went and caught a lot of bodies
Right.
after the Civil War.
So what they understand, because I did some research on this, is the cowboy is sacred and the frontiersman is sacred to European people because he conquered tribal people, he conquered the terrain, and he conquered the theos, right? The God, right? Because so you can find God in nature. So he was the person that was able to overcome all of those three things. Tribal people, terrain, and the motherfucking the theos, the
Theos,
God.
that's manifest destiny. That's
deep.
them
That's
riding
deep.
forward with their God. Remember, their concept is
Right, our
if
God
we
against
defeat
yours.
you, our God against yours.
Our God works and yours
if
don't.
Our God's working, yours don't. That's what American God shows you. Our God's is active and yours ain't. We feed our gods and you don't. That's how they push their thing. So they in Middle East right now like we beat Allah. What is you talking about? We decimated him.
A lot don't work.
A lot don't work. So look, we was talking about hypermasculinity and posturing, and the God just popped up. This was not rehearsed, right? Show him, right? Comfortable, right?
Come through.
He said street and conscious, right? He's not coming here with the ice grill. He's not coming here posturing. You feel me? He's in his proper persona. He's being himself. He's not saying, yo, I got the information, so I'm gonna put on a robe and whatnot and walk through this thing with the wild, different accent like, Hotapu, hello brothers. You know, he's not trying, he's being himself. So one of the things that hip hop doesn't afford, because hip hop is part of groupthink. You understand? Hip hop is part of groupthink. So it's like Blue Pill said, it's not about individualism. It's about what everybody's on. What time are you on? What sneakers is hot this week? What gang you rap? What set you claiming? All of that is groupthink because a rapper made it cool. They thotting right now. Whole culture's popping because hoes popped up. You know what I mean? And going to the strip club became cool. You know what I mean? We got young brothers that's trapped in the system because selling crack was cool in the 90s. All of this was not something that they necessarily woke up feeling like, this is what I'm gonna do. They would listen to some mixtapes. It was like, well, goddamn it, son is pulling up in the foreign. They doing that.
They weaponized our music against us.
Yeah.
Right, weaponization.
Big time.
Taking that back though. One step at a time.
Weaponized the culture, to be honest with you, because it was more than just the music. It was
Music is what put the message in your
the
head.
music put the message in your head.
It's supplanted in your subconscious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wow, man, listen, I know the people want to hear what y'all got to say in Houston. You, Red, the Blue, and Professor Griff.
Yeah, the black pill. We gotta give him his.
The
No,
black,
he's the black and gold pill. We settled that in Atlanta.
Yeah, in Atlanta.
The black and
The
gold
black and
pill?
gold pill.
Okay.
We gonna have
So-
to. We got something special coming.
And
from
he
Griff.
just did. He was on Nick Cannon's podcast.
Yeah.
Oh.
Professor Griff. Did you see?
Oh, Cannon's class.
Yeah, Cannon's class. Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Shout out to Nick Cannon, man.
Yes.
Shout out to Nick.
A lot of people watch our stuff and they don't talk about it, and we're like the hidden. They hide us, and you know
Exactly. Yeah, we the new
so,
porn.
So shout out to Nick for showing love.
Nick Cannon has acknowledged the fact that yes, he does watch, he does absorb, he does get, you know what I'm saying, his cloth.
Yeah, shout out to that brother. I appreciate
Shout out to
because that
brother,
brother's
man.
on
He's a
it.
different-
He's
a
not a
different
washed up.
individual.
He's on the top right now. So
producer.
a producer. All
Not even
so,
say anything else. He produces. He's
so
different.
For him to acknowledge this community at the top,
That's right.
different.
No fear.
Sometimes we get people, once they fall off, they're like, yo, man, you know, I've been listening for years. Nick is at the top.
That's right.
So that brother's from a different cloth. Appreciate that, brother. Shout out to Nick Cannon. Let the people know how to see this lecture, how to get to it. What's going on?
Eventbrite, Fear of a Black Planet 2, Houston, Texas, Shape Center. Or I believe you could go on the Shape Center's website, June the 9th, which is a Sunday, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Shape Center in the 3rd Ward, Red Pill, Blue Pill, and Professor Griff. If you have any problems with ordering the tickets, pull up that day of and you good. You know what I'm saying? Skirt, skirt. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., $30 at the door.
Oh, yeah, come in on your horse. Nigga might let you in.
Yeah. Or you could go and pre-order the tickets with Professor Griff on his PayPal. Professor Griff Corp. That's his PayPal. We'll put the information and everything in the description box. All right? We need y'all to pull up and be in the building. Love and light to the family. We will see y'all. We gonna see y'all. Make sure y'all go see that Sabi documentary that Nick Cannon produced, Mama Pill, KT, Blue and Red. We are definitely in the building representing. Shout out to Mr. G. Go get that book when Mr. G drop it. The Life, what is it? My Walk with Dr. Sabi, July 19th. And any other announcements? Facts2020.org. Sign up.
Goldwater.com, G-O-L-D-E, water.com. New venture, new product, new opportunities. There's a fiduciary component to this. It's extraordinary. All right, again, shout out Studio of Fatah.com. Okay, our elder, our master craftsman, Baba Heru. Give him his roses. You're talking about a legend beyond all legends.
See,
first person with the shrine.
Get to this money.
Here, the shrine of Fatah. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah, the sun coming out. You know what I'm talking about?
Young brother from the gutter, always been a fighter, never been a runner. Woo. Mama was a hunter, daddy was a hunter, all my brothers hunt each other. Woo. Known to knuckle up and uppercut a slugger, punch a snuffer, stun a thugger, gonna stutter, blood a sputter. You gon' do the Brooklyn pucker, gonna drummer. Father thought I was a parasite in mama belly, but he had it wrong. He ain't know he had a spawn of a warlord till in 9 months I was born. Big black strong body, yellow prawn. I'ma be a king, killing all the pawn. Better be informed when I blow the horn, bringing in the dust, waking up the dawn, looking at a card. Ooh. Prophesized by the shaman voodoo. Seen it all through the eye of Horus that I watch and view through. There was other warriors before me, but they not this cruel.